This is a Grande Pacific production. Today's lesson is about changing the cab 04 and 05 option key to select accessory key. It has come up several times recently in the Yahoo chat room for the NCE-DCC group on using a cab 04, and since I don't have an 04 here, I'm going to use an 05, but it's basically the same as far as how you would do this to throw switches on your layout with the NCE system. Assuming that you have a decoder set up on the switch and it's all been operational, you used your ProCab to do the whole thing, get it working. You just want to have another controller that can be used during operations that you can throw the switch from. You can use the 0405. I'm going to also cover, as mentioned on the chat room, the biggest pitfall for not using these two cabs to throw switches with. Highly recommend that you use a cab 06 or a ProCab that has a display if you're going to use a controller to throw the switches. You can also throw the switches by using a mini panel with a trigger switch connected to it, as I demonstrate in the video on mini panels, and you can also throw the switches from a dispatches panel as I demonstrate in the JMRI setting up a panel in layout editor. Those videos are on my YouTube channel, and you can watch those for those methods of throwing switches. The mini panel with the contact button, I may take a minute at the end of the tape just to show you one, because there has been some questions about where to place the buttons to trigger the switch. So I may cover that right at the end. Okay, back to this. Let's cover controllers first. This is a cab 06. And to use this to throw switches, you have to hit Shift Accessory first once, and then hit Select, and you see ACC come up. The switch that's going to appear, I'm going to tip this down right here, is 217. So I'd go 217, enter, and it would say 1 or 2. That switch is in the number 1 position right now, so we would go in here and push 2. Okay, now we hit 2, and you give it about on a cab 06, there you go, it's throwing. There is a little bit of delay on a cab 06, so don't be in a big rush to see the switch throw immediately. Now, going back and saying we want to throw that switch again, we just go hit the escape key, then a select accessory, and because I know that the last switch I threw was switch 217, all I'm going to do, and let's see if I can get them both in the picture at the same time, is hit select again. So you hit it twice, shift hit select twice, and there you go, it threw. Remember that trick, it saves you the trouble of putting the number back in. But if you didn't have that number and you went in select, you hit select accessory, and you didn't know that was the last one, you would hit 217, enter, and it would say 1 or 2, and we're back to the number 1 position, so we'd hit 2, and the little light there stopped flashing, which tell me it got the command, and as sometimes happen, it didn't work. So we'll go back and do it again. Accessory 217, enter, 2. Worked that time. These things are not foolproof, and don't kid yourself. Sometimes it takes more than one try at certain things. you get to where you know when you're working it right and when it's not. But anyway, that's a cab 06. So here we have the Pro Cab. When we turn it on, these are all both radio control units. So it comes up and we do the thing. Now it's we're only interested in here. Right here, select accessory key. So we hit select accessory. This one, the last switch we threw on it was 264. So in this case, we're going to go 217, enter. And we now know that switch is in number 2 position, so we'll hit 1. Now, with the Pro Cab, it gives you instantaneous results. Okay, it's almost immediate. A little bit of delay on the 06 cab, but on the Pro Cab you get it instantly. So here again, if I hit select accessory, 217 comes up. All I have to do is go back and hit select accessory again and it throws. Remember that trick, save you a lot of steps. So if I go over here and hit select accessory and I go 216, enter, and 216 is right there and it's in the number 2 position, so we'll hit 1. It went to the number 1 position. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to show you how to fix up a cab 04 and an 05 so it'll work doing that. So here's the instructions. Okay, we're going to press and hold down select loco right there. Nothing plugged in. This is not a radio cab. Okay, there are 04 radios, but this isn't one of them. This is an 05 cab, as you can see right there on the end. And we're going to plug the plug into the bottom. Now we have it plugged in. Now you see the light flashing. So it says press, hold down, select loco, plug in to UTP panel. While light LED flashing, press 478. 4, 7, 8, enter. Okay? This will change your option key to select accessory. So just have to play, and you can put a piece of tape, 1/4 inch tape from one of the label makers right there and call it accessory key. Okay, at this point you hit the option key and you enter 2, 1, 7, enter, and we're in the number 1 position, so we're going to hit 2 and it throws back. Next little trick is to hit the option key and then hit the option key again and it throws back the other way. So again, there's the little trick that once you're fooling with one switch, you don't have to re-enter it to go back the other way. So if I just hit the option key, the light comes on, then hit it again, and it goes back. The pitfall here, and I'll be real honest with you on this video, I could have guessed put it all in there. There was about 6 cuts that hit the floor on this one, you know, the cutting room floor. You got to get the button sequence hit just right. You do not have a screen to say, oops, the 2 didn't take, it just took the 7/8 or the 1/7, which happens on, you know, from time to time. So it took me a little while to get it to where it all worked correctly so you saw it. But the indicator up there is the light. If the light isn't doing exactly what it said, when you push the option key, the light flicks and then it comes on, stays on. Then you enter the switch decoder number, you hit enter, and then you hit 1 or 2 to make it throw. So depending on which position it's in. So this is the cab 05, using it to control switches. You would do the same thing with a cab 04. The difference is cab 04 get that knob right there, okay? This one has no knob. You strictly use the buttons to control the speed, so forth. So anyway, I hope that answers those questions. I'm now going to go up and talk about a button on a mini panel.